Welcome back, babe. I'm your host, Kayla Hodges. Do you feel like you're really busy and for some reason you're not making as much money as you want to in sales? Maybe it feels like you're complete burnt out. Maybe it feels like you're doing so many things, but you're not getting a lot of results. Why? Because maybe you're spending your time doing things that are not helping you win. So today we're talking about income producing activities. I'm going to show you how to manage your calendar in a way where you actually know how to take care of yourself in the day, as well as make sure that you're getting things done, and to help you stop being busy and make actually the amount that you want to make. So I'll see you in the show. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast, Closing Deals in Heels. This is your weekly big sister advice on mastering influence, embracing your femininity, and handling any challenge that life throws your way. I want to know if you feel like you're overworking, because what I see typically with women is that you are spending a lot of time being really busy, but you're not making the money that you should be making. And it's because you don't know how to spend your time. And maybe it's not your fault because no one's taught you, but I'm going to teach you how to do this in a feminine way. Because what I first learned in sales was like, hustle, 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 work harder. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And if you do that, you'll feel burnt out. In fact, if you ever felt burnt out in sales, dear God, my words want to keep up with my brain today. Drop in the chat, I felt burnt out before. I get it, because I completely get you, babe. And I know that you want to make money. I know that you want to be there for your family. I know that you're trying to make ends meet, you're trying to make it happen, or you're trying to hit certain goals for yourself, and you are feeling exhausted. And there's a way to do this to where you don't have to work as hard, because you know how to spend your time effectively. And I hear so many times these ladies tell me, they're like, oh, I work 10 hours a day, or I do this. And reality, the time that you're actually working is about 5 hours a day. So what the hell are you doing with your time? And if you learn how to do income producing activities and you're making sure that you're allocating appropriate time to do so, you will notice that you will start making far more and working far less. So I'm going to give you a couple tricks and a couple tips to do this today. And I want you to make sure that you have your calendar out, because if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. And your calendar is kind of like masculine structure. Masculine structure allows femininity to flow. And if you don't have anything on your calendar and you're just kind of winging it, hoping and praying that you figure it out or you get something done, it's not going to happen. And you're consistently going to feel like you're in chaos. You're like, oh God, did I get this done? Or did this happen? Or and then your brain's all over the place. Your energy is spent. And then you don't have time to spend time doing the things that you love and the things that make you happy. So let's go through this. If your goal is to be increasing your income, you have to be really laser focused on activities that actually make you money. Organizing your desk, going to a meeting, getting on a connection call with somebody just to be a friend, just to see if there's ever business there. Those things, babe, are not making you money. You doing a random social media scroll in the middle of the afternoon is definitely not making you money. How many times do you get distracted every single day? Are you a person that gets easily distracted? And if you are, you have to have some rules and some boundaries for yourself so you can make sure that you get done what you need to get done. And if you want time to relax and do nothing, you have to organize that in your day. Yes? Otherwise, you're going to start rebelling against yourself, and you're going to be doing random things that don't serve you, because you're going to be in a place of self-sabotage. So, number one, what are income producing activities? IPAs, income producing activities. These are actions that directly lead to you producing revenue. So anything that you do that would be an action that would let you have cash, that is an income producing activity. Yes? So if I follow up with somebody, if I get on a sales call, if I, prospect, anything that will lead to cash, income producing activity. So think about this really fast in your day. What do you do every day that is income producing? And sometimes, even if you own a business, right, which we mostly help saleswomen in every single industry, but there's also business owners in that as well. As a business owner, sometimes you get really, really stuck doing things that are really exciting and really creative that are not income producing activities. And you're like, oh, I have to get this certain thing ready and this thing has to be perfect in order for me to go in to start selling this. Like, no, no, no. If you are not doing income producing activities every single day, your business will fail. And you as a salesperson, it's like you have a business with yourself. You making sure that you are doing things every single day that make sure that always cash comes in for you. You're always planting seeds. You're always putting yourself in a position to win. And you're doing it in a way where you're not burning yourself out because you're not spending so much time doing things that are insignificant. Yes? So if I keep looking down here, it's because I have my laptop out and I have a bunch of notes for myself because I want to make sure that you get all of this and make sure you have a notebook, pen, and piece of paper. There's a difference between organizing, planning, doing admin work, and you doing stuff that actually makes you money. So we want to make sure that you know the differentiation between two and that you can time block for things that have to get done and you're not doing that when you have the most energy. Like we all know that you have to do admin work, right? As a salesperson, you need to make sure you put in your notes, run your end of day report, do all this other stuff, like write in your trackers. But if you task switch between things throughout the day, you're going to feel energetically drained. And that's because you're going from a left brain activity to a right brain activity throughout the day. And if you do a right brain activity, which is like creative, talking, and doing things like that, and then you go straight into doing admin work, left brain activity, it takes you 20 minutes to adjust to the new activity. And so if you get off a sales call and you do the admin work and then you get back on a sales call, it's going to take 20 minutes for your mind to adjust and get back over. So I'm going to show you how to do this today in a way where you stop task switching so much and you stop draining yourself. Okay. So how do we do this? There's 5 top producing activities in sales. Number 1, write this down: prospecting and lead generation. You have to be always planting seeds. And a brand new day, right? Depending on what type of sales you're in, maybe you're in B2B sales or B2C sales, maybe your company gives you leads, maybe you have to produce your own leads, maybe you have people in your pipeline. There's a thing that's called speed to lead. Yes. And if you have a new lead that comes in, like let's say they came in from an ad and you're outbound dialing, like new fresh leads will die. If you had some type of event and you met leads there, like those leads will die if you do not talk to people. You have to talk to people really quickly. Speed to lead, prospecting, lead generation, having conversations with people, right? We have another episode that I just did recently on how to hunt. It's really important for you to learn how to hunt so that you can always bring in leads, regardless if your company hands you leads or not. So you prospecting, you doing lead generation, like this is a really important part of your day because if you don't plant seeds, nothing will grow. So planting seeds, talking to people. If your pipeline is empty, your bank account will be too. So that's why we always have to make sure that that pipeline stays full and that we're constantly talking to people. If your pipeline is empty, go back, watch that video on how to hunt and start adding people to your pipeline. You have to be having consistent conversations with people. And the way that you do this is time blocking. So I think it's like an hour and a half of time to consistently like focus on one thing to really like be in the zone. I like to time block my calendar for at least like an hour and a half, 2 hours if I'm going to go do something. So I have to look at like everything that I'm doing and be like, hey, what is the best use of my time today? And if you can do this the day before, it's going to be even better. So let's say it is a Sunday night and I know that I have stuff on the calendar for Monday. I am going to look at my whole week. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-confirm any calls and I'm going to see like who here is the closest to buy. Those people are my top priority. The second priority is any new leads that come in. If there's somebody that's new, I need to have a conversation with them as quick as possible because new leads will die, right? And I have some type of plan going into my week so that on Monday, my very first thing in the morning is I look at what I have coming in that day. If it's sales calls, I'm pre-confirming, I'm making sure that they're showing up, I'm asking questions, I'm making sure that they're responding to my messages so that I know that they're coming so I can increase my show up rate. I'm looking and seeing like, hey, I have 2 hours right now where I'm going to block my time, or I have an hour if I have a sales call coming up. And during that time, I am either following up with somebody that's right about to close and I make sure that I'm right on top of those people. And then I go straight into new leads. or straight into lead generation. And I spend that time calling, texting, emailing, doing whatever I have to do, depending on my industry, to make sure that I am starting to get people on my calendar more, people in my pipeline. I'm moving people from one area to another area, from a new lead to hopefully booking a call to hopefully closing them, right? And then if I don't close them, to get them into a follow-up pipeline where I'm trying to get them to buy, whether they were just trying to logistically get something together or whether they need, whatever it might be, and I move them into more cold and I continuously follow up with them that way. However, I can't do each thing at once. That would be really, really complicated and it would be energetically draining. Let's say that I look at my pipeline and I have like 5 new leads in there, and I start calling the first lead, and then I remember that I need to follow up with somebody. So then I follow up with that person, and then I remember that, hey, this person, I haven't pre-confirmed this call yet. So then I pre-confirm there. Do you see how many different tasks I'm switching? And like how that'd be so hard. I'm like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this. And I'm consistently chasing myself all day long. Can't do that. One thing at a time. Okay. If somebody is right about to close, that's probably a top priority because it's the quickest to cash. So I make sure that I'm on top of that person. And then I look at what's next closest to cash, new leads. So I start all my new leads, boom, 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 boom. I get to the end of that. If I have nothing left, then I look at, I'm like, what would be the best use of my time? Okay, like prospecting. Let's get some new people into my pipeline. So I start messaging those people, right? And I have a time block for that. And that's all I do during that time block. And before I go to my next thing, if I'm tired, then I take a moment. I love 1.5 to 2 hour time blocks. After that 2 hour mark, I have to fill up my cup. So I don't know about you, but it's definitely like 3 hours. Like I'm just like, I start to feel a little bit like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. And if I could take at least, 15 minutes after that 2 hours and go on a little walk or step outside or take a breath or have a moment with myself or like creatively dance, being in my energy, I fill myself up, fill my cup up, and I can go back into my workday. If I go past that 2-3 hour mark, typically I need a good 30 minutes. I need 30 minutes of doing nothing where no one needs me, where I'm not on the phone with anybody, where I'm just taking care of myself, where I can eat and just be present with me eating or eating a little snack, and like no one needs me at that time. If I consistently do that through my day, I'm adding little breaks where I have rest, where I can refill up my cup. I feel more clear. I feel more grounded. I feel like I can accomplish anything because I'm consistently taking care of myself throughout the day. Now, on your calendar right now, if you don't have strategic rest breaks on your calendar, that's why you feel tired and burnt out, because if it's not on there, you're going to keep going. If you're on a call and it's going over and you had extra time and now you're giving it to somebody else, like that's why you're exhausted. So, best ways to generate leads: cold outreach, networking and referrals, social selling. Again, we have a whole entire video on this if you're going to be prospecting. The second way to do an income producing activity is booking sales calls and conversations and appointments. If your calendar is not full, you are not taking this seriously. You look at your calendar to see how much money you're going to be making that week. That's how you can project cash flow. So if I look at my calendar and there's not a bunch of sales calls on my calendar, I am in a bit of a problem. I'm in a bit of a pickle. And if that's not the case, then I have to really ask myself, like, what am I doing here? Now, for some of us and for some of you, maybe you have a company that puts 8-9 appointments in your calendar a day. Yay, that's amazing. However, if for whatever reason there's like a marketing issue or something like that, and you don't have that time, or you have somebody that cancels that call, what are you doing with that time right there? If somebody cancels a call, that's not time for you just to go eat and go chill and go hang out. It's just like, what can you do with that time to bring in more cash for you, right? What can you do with that energy in order for you to not just waste it? Who can you follow up with? Who can you prospect? Who can you book more calendars across the line for? And making sure that you're doing one thing at a time, yet again, okay? How many conversations that do you need to have in order to make a sale? It's really important for you to be able to understand your numbers. Yes, like, and understand your closing rate so that you can project how much cash that you're going to be making, and you can make sure that you can honor your boundaries and honor your time efficiently. So let's say that I know that I need to make, like 10 grand in a month.
Hey, beautiful, just want to take one little second of your time to interrupt this podcast. First of all, I just want to honor you for showing up for yourself. Like, thank you so much for watching and for listening. Like, you have no idea how much it means to me. If you can just take just 1 second of your time, a little favor, and please hit the subscribe button. Please leave a review, comment on this, and share it to another woman that you know. We as women get to really stand and honor each other, and we do that by lighting fires at others' hearts. Sometimes a woman just needs to know that you believe in her and that she's capable, so please send this to her. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking that out of your time and doing that for us. You have no idea how much it helps and how much it helps us bring a really amazing guest on this show and get it out to more and more people. So thank you again. I will see you back in the show.
How many sales do I need to make in order to make that number happen? And then how many sales calls do I need to have in order for me to be able to make that amount? Yes. So like, let's say that your commission was $500, right? So obviously you need 20 sales in order to make 10 grand. And there's 4 weeks in a month, sometimes more. But let's just say that there's 4, right? So if I was going to do some math here, like 20 divided by 4, that means I need to be able to close 5 inside of a week. Yes. And that means 1 a day if I work 5 days a week, right? Pretty simple. Now, again, this is going to be different depending on your industry. If you're working in B2B sales and you have a salary plus commission on deals and it's a longer sales cycle, this is going to be a little bit different for you. But again, I'm just trying to show you some basic numbers here. So if I had to sell 1 sale a day and I know that I have, a 20% close rate, that means I need to talk to 5 people each day and have 5 sales calls in order to have 1 closed. Now, the better that you get in sales, the higher your close rate gets up, and you need to talk to less people. That's why it's really important for you to train every day. And some of you are training throughout your day, so I'm going to help you on this because some of you are not using your time really effectively, and we're going to fix that right now. But making sure that you understand that I need to have this many conversations in order to hit my goal. Because in your day, if you're not doing the thing that's going to be able to help you get your goal, then you are self-sabotaging. So let's say I need to talk to 5 sales on a calendar and I look at my calendar for this week and I don't have 5 sales calls on my calendar every single day. Now I'm like, well, what do I need to do to get more calls on my calendar? Right? This is how you allocate your time. This is how you allocate your energy. Okay. I need to, outbound dial 30 people to get 1 sales call. Okay, so then I need to make sure that I'm time blocking to do outbound dials. Yes, and again, it's going to be different on your industry. So if you have a question about this for your specific industry, comment in the chat below your question so I can answer more appropriately for you, because it's going to be very different and we train so many different industries around the world. So if you have a question about this and how to figure out your numbers, just ask, but just always walk backwards. If I know I need to make this amount of money, then I need to do this action in order to get this money. If I have this action unavailable, then I need the action before to get that action. Yes? You with me so far? So just know what you got to do and look at your time and be like, my God, like, hey, this isn't here. So I need to do the action before that in order to get here. Okay. Another way of producing income-producing activities is connecting sales calls and closing deals. If you don't have your sales calls, then you're not closing deals, period. Seems really simple, but this is really important. If you're spending all your time and you're just trying to prospect, and you're not getting a sales call out of it, there's something that you're doing wrong out of prospecting. You got to work on that. You've got to work on that skill to get a little bit better. But you've got to get sales calls so that you have conversations and close deals. This is very, very, very important. Now, what I will say is having a mindset shift, right? Where selling is serving. You're doing this in place of others. Once you understand our methodology, read, real, empowering, disarming questions, sales becomes so much easy, so much natural, so much more feminine for you, so that you can actually enjoy having a sales conversation, actually enjoy helping somebody make a new decision by buying your product or service. However, you've got to have the sales call. Really, really important. And you have to ask for the sale. Oh my God. Okay. This is crazy to me. You got to ask for the sale and you have to be willing to sit in uncomfortability. Let's say that you do everything and you have all these sales calls, and for some reason you are not asking for the sale, or for some reason somebody gives you one objection and you just get off the phone or you get off the Zoom call. That is absolutely crazy to me. You did all this work and yet you're not objection handling, you're not sitting in uncomfortability. And it's probably because you are going through something, or you've been through trauma, or you feel a rejection, or it just feels like a lot. So you got to do the inner work at the same time. You can watch our other podcasts on that as well. I've just did one on that too. But if you are not like asking for the sale or trying to overcome the objection, you just did all this work for nothing. Stop the madness. Okay. You got to sit there and you got to be willing to do the work, and you have to be willing to ask somebody to buy and to hold that space for them to understand what is coming up for them. What is the hesitation of not moving forward, and being able to do this with class and be able to do this with a loving energy. All right. Following up. I can't tell you how many people don't follow up. 80%, right, of people that did not buy will buy from you after 5+ times a follow-up. Just from like what I did my my online research, right, from Google. That was its numbers, 80%. Now, I don't think that 80% of sales will buy. That's not what I'm talking about, because once you're really good at sales, once you're really good at having conversations with people, persuading people, most people will buy from you. A really good closing percentage is like 60-70%. If you can get it there, that's absolutely incredible. And I'm not talking about people that tell you, oh, I'm not financially qualified, and you discount those people. That doesn't count. If I talk to 10 people and 5 people were not financially qualified and you close 5 of them, you don't have a 100% closing rate. That's simply not true. There's some type of objection that they're giving you financially, and you don't know how to get this person to be resourceful to find the funds. Okay, so that's not what I'm talking about. But you being in a place where you talk to 10 people, 3 people, are still unqualified, and you still close 6 of them, that's a 60% closing ratio. So we want to make sure that you are still following up. There's so many people that talk about, oh, I don't want to follow up, or I don't need to follow up. That is such laziness. There's people that want to buy from you. For some reason, your skill level wasn't there, or logistically they weren't there. You have to follow up with people. 30% of your cash flow that's coming in should be coming from a follow-up process. Follow up with people. You have no idea what's going on. Wouldn't you hate for you not to follow up with somebody, and then somebody that's a competitor of yours or a competitive company was able to close this person and help this person because you didn't follow up with them and they forgot all about you? That would suck. Follow-ups are super vital, super important. And then number 5, upselling and retaining clients. I can't tell you how many times I see sales reps that don't upsell, or don't ask for referrals, or don't retain clients. Let's say that somebody is coming up at the end of their service with you, and you make a decision that you just haven't talked to this person at all. And then you come at them at the end, you're like, hey, do you want to buy again? They're like, I haven't heard from you in 6 months. Why? Because you haven't been committed to generating a relationship with this person. Once somebody buys from you, you have to maintain a relationship with them. You should have on your calendar once every 2 weeks to every month, be reaching out to people that have purchased from you so that you can continue getting referrals from them, getting a relationship with them, and possibly upselling them or getting them to rebuy from you. That relationship is vital. You know who does this really, really bad is insurance reps. Insurance reps will get somebody to buy insurance for them, and they never talk to them again. And then another insurance rep somehow takes that deal from you, 8 months down the line. And why? Because you don't talk to them. You have to be able to generate and build relationships with people. Now, should you be talking to people every single day that have purchased from you? No. Put in your calendar once every 2 weeks, once a month, to talk to them to keep the relationship alive, right? Because they'll refer you. They like you. You've developed a relationship with you. They are telling you everything is working. They can give you a testimonial video. You can utilize that to get more clients. There's so many things that you can do. But forgetting all about this person that literally is paying your bills is not right at all. Okay. Now, number 3, what is stealing your time? What feels productive but is completely a time waster? I wrote down a few things. Number 1, over preparing and over planning. Okay. Perfectionism is procrastination. You over preparing for your day, over planning, like, oh, I'm going to prospect in this way and I'm going to call these. Oh, you know what? I'm going to organize this pipeline. I'm going to add some more tags here. I'm going to add some more notes here. And then it's 3 hours later and you haven't called anybody. Baby girl, what are you doing? Okay. Updating your website or your social media for hours instead of messaging leads. Right? For my salespeople, doing more stories and more stories and more stories on social media. I do think it's important that you utilize social media, but you don't spend your whole time there, especially when you need time during your day to be doing income producing activities. Another one, I'm spending too much time on content without making offers. What do I mean by this? So let's say that I'm trying to come up with a creative process to follow up. And so I'm coming up with a really good follow-up email and I'm editing it and I'm going to ChatGPT and I'm trying to make it better. And I'm going there, I'm like, oh, well, let me add a video. I'm adding this video to it. I'm trying to do all these cool things. And I spent 2 hours developing this follow-up email versus doing something really, really simple and just going, go, 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 make it happen. Short burst of energy. You have an hour to follow up. Okay. I'm going to give myself a 5-minute time limit to get this email together. I'm going to send it to these people and then I'm going to start texting them and we'll start calling them. And I'm going to go. And I'm going to go for that whole entire hour. And then I'm going to give myself a break. You can get more done in an hour being really intentional than you can get done in 5 hours with you being unintentional. It's kind of have a little time blitz for yourself. Little sales blitz. Hey, for this hour, I'm going to try to see if I can reach out and message as many people as possible in my follow-up pipeline. Okay. And then also engaging in busy work instead of actually selling. You have certain KPIs for your company, I'm sure. You being busy and you talking to people in your office and you on Zoom calls talking to your team and on meetings and blah, 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 and you haven't spent time actually talking to real prospects is hurting you. So if you feel yourself and you feel that this is happening, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing with your time? And really giving yourself a blueprint to be successful. So here's the last thing I'm going to leave you with you having just a little daily check for yourself and a little checklist. Number 1, 90-minute power sessions. Have a 90-minute time block on your calendar. Do only one thing in that time block that's going to help you generate money. Number 2, lead generation. You need to do 10 plus new connections daily, right? Even if your company already provides leads for you, you have to do this. If you can get up to 20, that's even better. Sales conversations. You need to have 5 plus sales calls a day. It has to happen. If you can get more. Do it based off of your KPIs. You need a follow-up. Okay. You need to have follow-ups and you want to have at least 7 touch points per lead. Okay. Now it's not every single day, but you do need to have some type of process where you're sending value and you're getting people across the line. I would absolutely ask for referrals every single day. Every single day. You don't know who somebody knows. And sometimes we're afraid to ask. And lastly, if you feel hesitation with any of this, any resistance in your body, it's one of 2 things. Number 1, it's either you don't have the skill set yet, where you don't know exactly what to do. And let's say the first time you rode a bike, you're like, oh God, I don't know if I'm doing this, right? Because you don't have the confidence in yourself because you don't understand the skill set yet. Or number 2, you have trauma in your body or resistance about yourself that's holding you back. So whether it's one or the other or both, it is your responsibility to learn this. Make sure that you are a woman that is committed to her transformation, committing to have the best life that you possibly can have. And if you are holding yourself back because you're kind of guessing and kind of winging it and hoping that you'll figure it out, or maybe you think that you're too good. Oh, I've done training before in the past and and you're being a snob right now because you think that you've hit a certain income level and you capped yourself in growing. There's always another level that's possible for you. You have to be willing to shed your ego and to really go all in on yourself so that you can become all that you can be. And my team and I, we're happy to help you. Please text us 323 498-2439. Text us your name, your industry, and like what you need to work on. Is it mindset? Is it skill set? Like, we're happy to send you trainings over to help you, but you have to ask for it. You have to be willing to ask for the support, ask for the help. So we're here. We want to cheer you on, but babe, like, stop holding yourself back. Make sure you time block. Look at your calendar right now. Make sure that every single like empty space is filled with something. It can either be a block, it's like time for myself, something. Because if you don't have anything there, you're going to be kind of like guessing, and that does not lead to success. So I hope that this helps you. Make sure that you time block yourself, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and stop being busy. Make sure that you're spending time on doing things that will actually make you more money and actually help more people. Love you.